I want to thank you for joining me today. And before we get started, as always, all messages that are released on this channel are my truth. And that is exactly what it is and what it always will be. And that is my truth. Now, my truth consists of a bunch of experiences that I gained clarity from, which ultimately took me back to the real me, which is truth. Now, when I try to convince you that my truth is the gospel, however, my truth is the gospel for me. That does not make it the gospel for you, nor will I ever try to make it the gospel for you. By me being on this platform, I am simply placing breadcrumbs on a path that I've already walked. Now, you find yourself on a similar path and you resonate with said breadcrumbs and you say, you know what, I like that. I want to follow that. And that's cool. If not, that is cool as well. My purpose is to assist those who are ready to get out of their own way. So let's get right into it. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, what we're going to do is continue this nice ball of energy that we have rolling. And that ball of energy contains love, light, healing, and peace. And let's talk about this ball of energy. What did I just say? Love, light, healing, and peace. How I am right now, this is what I have right now. Love, light, healing, and peace. So if anyone comes into my life and disrupts that, it's easy for me to get that person out of my life because I know what I felt before you entered. Right? But it took me a while to get there. I had to understand my emotions, these different feelings that were going off and signals in my body. I had to understand this stuff before I could get to that space. And it took a lot of work to get there. And it took me moving a lot of people that didn't deserve to be there, that were not for me ever, never had my best interests at heart, were there for selfish reasons. All that stuff matters. That is the purpose of me putting out these messages. So when you come across these individuals, that message will pop up in your mind. That's what that dude was talking about. Ah, okay. Dang. I never realized that before. That's the whole purpose of these messages. Because some of the stuff I hope people don't experience, but I know that there are people who are experiencing it. And for a long time, I ignored a lot of signs. Then once I disconnected from those individuals, I couldn't deny what I was experiencing. Better health, skin looking better, losing weight, clearer thoughts. I like the list goes on and on, all these different things just from disconnecting from people, certain people in my life. Because their energies were affecting my energy. Then on top of that, they were projecting things that were not mine on top of me. But see, I didn't understand that in the beginning because I didn't understand energy. I didn't understand my emotions and how I felt and this and that. So when I hear women say they want a man who's emotionally intelligent and this, that, and the other, and yada, 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 and blah, 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 right? I'll tell you thus far what I've experienced. I've only dealt with a handful of women on my since I've got on my journey. Only a few. But those that were not ready, who have not done the work that I've done, they had a problem with that. They weren't ready for that. See, people want things until it's right in front of them. Then when it's right in front of them, then you got to step up to the plate. That was the issue. So they didn't do the work. So they wasn't ready for that caliber of a man. Same thing goes for women. So I'm not putting anything on women. I'm saying people in general. I only date women, so I'm talking about women. That's who I deal with. But I'm sure women go through the same thing with men. See, for me, it's not black and white and brown and yellow and good and bad. No, it's about energy. Where you vibrate at? That's the only thing that matters to me. What's your vibration? Because that's going to tell me everything I need to know about how you're moving in life. is your vibration. If you're vibrating low, and nah, I'm not going to, I got, we have nothing in common. We're not aligned with each other. Because see, before I thought, no, I'm not going to judge people. I see how this person is, but I'm not going to do anything to them. So why would they do anything to me? Yeah, no, not the case. They had to learn all the stuff out the hard way. No, if we're not equally yoked, I can't even associate my energy with you because you're going to do things that I'm not going to do. So this relationship will always benefit you. And that's what it was. All those relationships I had, when I sat back and I looked at it, they benefited the other person, not me. Because the only reason that relationship was being held up was because of me. And it was because of the traumas that I experienced. So I went to go ahead and work on that, start healing. And then, like I said, I only dealt with a handful of women, but when I could see that they didn't do the work. So what happened? Let's go ahead and I'm going to use this example here on the screen. Now, another thing before I go into this, if stuff like this triggers you, then you're welcome. Why would I want it to trigger you? Because triggers are a good thing. Triggers tell you, hey, something's not right. So the proper thing would be, why did that trigger me? Why did I think that? Self-reflection. That's what it's for. But if you feed into it and you react from a trigger, you're missing the whole point. Because more than likely, it's something deeper than what's being shown to you on the surface. But if you're not able to self-reflect, you're going to stay in that same loop, that same circle. Because trust and believe, all energy wants to survive. It wants to expand. It wants to grow. So if you are being led by your quote unquote ego, which is not real, just a bunch of thoughts you agree to. But if that is what's leading you, it's feeding off of your energy. You feed the ego. Please understand, I put this out in another dimension, the white wolf and the black wolf, the dark wolf. If you're feeding that dark wolf, your ego, it's going to become stronger. So then it's going to be the one that's leading you. So what does that look like if it's leading you? Ego can look at this picture and say something like, don't listen to this dude. Look at him. He thinks that he's above women. Look how he's up on that high thing and the woman's so beneath him. Is that what I'm talking about with this? No. But if you follow your mind, or even worse, somebody outside of you, I would. Now look at him. See, he think he got. Look at this shirt talking about truth. What are you telling the truth about? You see all this stupid stuff that they got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But this is how you get pulled off your path. We really, truly need to stop getting answers from outside of ourselves. All the answers you need can come from within you, but you need to build that connection and believe in yourself. Because trust and believe, if someone is using you as an energy source, they don't want you to change. So if you're the quickest way to know somebody is for you or not, and if they have your best interest at heart, if you're doing something that you know, don't worry about what they know. You know that, hey, if I do this is going to be a benefit to me. This is going to make me happier, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know this stuff, right? But you talk to somebody about it and they're shitting on it. They putting it down. They give you that person's benefiting off of you some shape, form, or fashion, and they not want you to change. Watch out for that type stuff. You start working out more. Let's say you're overweight. You start working out more. You go into the gym. Your roommate is overweight just like you're overweight. Now, before, your roommate wasn't trying to get you to go out to eat and this, that, and the other all the time. Now all the time they're trying to get you to go out to eat. Oh, you've been working hard. Why don't you have a drink? Why don't you eat dessert? You've been working so hard. See, trying to get you to slip backwards. Crab in the barrel mentality. Not about being better, being higher. It's about being aligned. In all aspects. Spirit and in flesh. So if your mind on any of these messages, because if you listen to these messages, all these messages, I'm pointing you to you. I'm not telling you that, hey, follow me. I'm the way. I'm the light. No, I'm not telling you any of that. Nor will I ever. I'm only telling you what I've experienced and the lessons I've learned from it and where I'm at and how you can get there if you choose to. Because it is a choice. It's a choice to rise or it's a choice to stay stuck. You can blame whoever you want to. But if you make the necessary choices within, your outside will change. As within, so without. These are not just sayings. When I started to go within and I started to make changes within, I started to feel better, my outside changed. But I could look back when my mind was in a head fog and I was not feeling good and this, that, and the other, my outside was shitty. As within, so without. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to continue on. Now I'm going to use this image multiple ways in this message. First way I'm going to use it is the love way. Now this is, like I said, look at the scale to the left. It's telling you from 0, which is death, all the way up to 1,000, which is enlightenment. Look at it like that. I want you to look at it just like that as a scale. And it's color coded for a reason as well. So think about it, your car. What color is when you're redlining in your on your dashboard? What is red signifying? Hey, you're getting a little bit into the danger zone, buddy. That's what it's signifying. Same thing here on the scale. So you are having, now don't get it twisted, because I want you to look at that. Anger is like 150, right? Yes, that can be a danger zone if you channel that anger wrong, but you can channel your anger in different ways. Because it's energy. You're just transmuting that energy. You don't have to take it out in anger and beat somebody's head in and beat up a wall, break things. No, you can channel that anger into something else. I can go clean. I can go work out. I can go garden. You can go do anything. I'm going to channel this anger while I'm meditating. Channel that anger, change it from anger to love and light, to abundance. You all of this is what alchemy is. It's symbolism, turning that base metal into gold. Right? It's the same thing. If you send me negative energy, right? Guilt and shame, right? These are negative, low energy. You sending this to me. And I get this in my energetic field and I feel it. Oh, what the hell is this? I don't have anything to feel guilty about. Why do I have this in my energy? Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to send it back. I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to transmute it to something that I can use it for, because it's just energy. But that came with time of being on this journey. So once again, we're going to go back to this. Like I said, this is not representing that he's higher than her. You can swap these positions as need be. But I want you to see what I'm talking about as I explain it. So in this example here, let's say this man here is at 500. This woman is at 175. 175 happens to be pride. Now, this is red flag number one. So I would not date anyone who's stuck in their pride because I've already seen the effects of that. I'll tell you this right here. Since I got on my journey, I've only dealt with a handful of women since I've got on my journey, right? And I could tell easily because I'm on my journey, oh, you're still stuck with pride. Because, see, I made a whole bunch of promises and changes when I got on my journey that I was not going to do anymore in relationships, right? So now I'm presenting this to women. Now, this is going to look like fool's gold to them because they were like, is this real? No. And I could see it. Like, it got women intrigued in the beginning. Then they realized, okay, dang, this is real. But this is going to require me to change and grow right now. That's the issue, the right now part. Because that would require them to have to adjust everything that they thought to deal with what's standing right there in front of them. Then that's when, see, they haven't got rid of the fear and all this other stuff. Now, then the fear kicks in. Now, what if this isn't real? What if he's love bombing? And then you get all in, then he just snatched the rug. See, now you're letting all this fear kick in. Let me see how he responds to this. And see, once people start playing games, boop, I'm gone. These are all the things that I had to deal with. This is why it's dangerous when you start to mess with people who you're not equally yoked with. Whereas before, I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I wasn't looking at what was in your heart. I'm like, dang, she's sexy. She fine. She got a fat ass. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. All these little physical characteristics, right? Leading with my animal nature. Now, of course, I still want to be attracted to who I'm with. But I tell you, your heart and what's inside of your heart, it means way more than anything else. So that's what I'm going to go by. Your patterns. Not by what you say. And definitely not what I project on you. Aristotle once said, love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Yes, that is exactly how it should be. That's powerful. Saying two people are basically moving with deep unity, shared values, going in the same direction with similar purposes. That's what I hear. That will lead to a successful relationship. That is what 2 Corinthians 6, 14 to 15 is saying. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? That's what I ran across. That's what I ran into. Not being equally yoked. So what would that look like? That would be looking like, let's say I'm a man, I want to get married. Yeah, I want my wife to, first of all, I love her. She's the love of my life. I don't want to be without her. I can see having children with this woman. I want my wife, I want to be able to be vulnerable with her. I'm listening to all these type things, right? Then you get to the woman. And if she says, well, yeah, he's cool. I like him. He's a good provider. I want to be able to have security. I don't want to have to work anymore. I want to be able to travel more. You see, not aligned. Not aligned at all. As soon as you're not able to provide, she's out of there. Whereas the woman is saying, that's the love of my life. I don't want to be without this man. I could see him giving me great kids. He would be a great father. We'd be able to take family vacations together. But that sounds more aligned. You're going in, you're talking very similar. That's being aligned. Has nothing to do with being better than the other person. Now I'm gonna look at it a different way. This guy's on 500, she's on 175. Understand this, the lower you go down this scale, the easier it is. We're gonna go a matrix. We're gonna go with our little matrix theme here. Mr. Smith is able to jump it to you a lot easier the lower you go down this scale. So if this person is stuck in pride, 175, all Smith got to do is whisper in her ear certain things. This guy thinks he's better than you. Oh, he thinks women and blah, blah, blah. You should humble him. And if you don't have control of your mind, you're a weak-minded individual, you'll listen to a voice telling you to ruin somebody who is good. When you can see clearly that this person is good, but because of fear, and you haven't overcome fear yet, you let that fear well, let me go ahead and get him before he gets me then. Let me get her before she gets me. All men are dogs. These hoes ain't loyal. Whatever you want to convince yourself with. This is why you need to be equally yoked. The lower down the scale that somebody has these things within them, the easier it is for them to be taken over. And I'm telling you this from experience because I've seen it time and it took me a while to understand it. But now that I'm on my journey, I understood. It was times it'd be perfectly fine in the beginning. Then I could feel that this person's energy is different because that spirit that was following me at that time would just hop right into that individual. Find out what their weak point is, access them, and have them turn on me. Start whispering in their ear. Because I would feel that, I'm like, why does it? Like, this is exactly what I was dealing with da-da-da. Because it was just following me. And then it exploited people's weaknesses, what they have not healed. This is an energy game. And this energy does not want you can call it whatever you want to. It's just a word for me. Devil, demons, all the words. It's energy. Lower vibrating energy that wants to keep you trapped so it can feed off of you. And I was a nice little energy source. So it needed to keep me in a low vibration, keep me in confusion, keep me tied to people who were not for me. So these are all things. So let's say, I'm going to use this example again, 500, 175. This person is attached to something dark and evil, let's just say, right? You connect with this person sexually, that energy has access to you through that person. If this person's connected, I had to disconnect with other people from my past just because they were still communicating with somebody that I was no longer talking to. It's not about pick sides. No, it's about I saw through this person's mask. I know you don't see through it. So this person's going to have you on a string. And if I stay attached to you energetically, that person can access my energy through you. So in that case, you got to go too. So I had to cut people because I understood that, because I could feel people accessing my energy through other people. So who you connect your energy with is important. So now, no, I'm not going to lower my vibration to meet somebody who has not done the work. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how much money you got, how much status you got. Oh, this will give me some clout if I don't care about any of that. If your heart is not healed enough, there's no point for me. I've already been there and done that. Me hopping on here saying September
would be 4 years of celibacy. It's not a flex. It's not something that I want to do. Like, I would love to have that person, but that person's going to have to be healed. Otherwise, I'm going to suffer just for some pleasure. Nah, I'm good with that. It'll either be the right person or no person. Because I know energy now, and I take it serious. I'm not on here putting out messages and I live totally different. Everything I say is how I live. 100%. And as you move up and down that scale to the left, you're going to have to let things go that do not serve you. Or as I've said in plenty of messages, they become anchors. So I'm going to give it to you in another way. This guy's standing on the platform of 500, right? She's on 175. Energy likes, or the universe likes balance. So you interact with this person that's on 175, your energy has to balance with that person. It's not going to balance completely and make sure you 50-50 energetic wise. No, but it is going to lower your energy. You will not be at 500 anymore. It's going to take some of your energy and give it to that person. Now, what makes it even scary, if this person knows energy and they work in witchcraft and all this dark stuff, they'll try to siphon your energy even more. Yet another reason to be careful who you attach your energy to. Once again, I'm telling you all this stuff because this is the stuff I encountered. If something don't feel right, go with that feeling. I hear what this person's saying, but something's not, it just don't feel. People don't listen to what they're feeling. Especially if this person's talking something good and this person looks good. But you get that feeling. You better go with that feeling. That feeling is telling you something that your eyes can't see. I know what you're seeing, but I'm telling you, this person's not good for you. Once I get that feeling, boop, bye. Once you play games, boop, bye. I'm going to give it to you another way. This guy's at 500. She's at 175. You start interacting with her, your vibration comes down, right? Let's just say it goes to 450. I'm just going to say 450. Now, at 500, let's say 500 is where you had to be in order to keep that. You work so hard. Now you got this nice house, nice car, nice job, but it requires you to be at 500. Guess what's going to start happening? You're going to start having issues with those things because you're no longer vibrating at 500. It's important. And you will not get back to 500 unless this person raises their vibration. See, when you attach to somebody, it's becoming a single soul. So this is why you need to be aligned. Carl Jung once said, where love rules, there is no will to power. And where power predominates, love is lacking. Once again, you got to know who you're dealing with. Some people want power and control. So when you get in a relationship, they want power and control over you. Been there, done that as well. Not on my end, because I'm the one that's always giving the love. But see, when somebody wants power and control over you, this is where you get these people who try to take your self-confidence and all this other stuff so you can get their approval. They want control over you. They're not leading with love. Jung also argued that we often project unconscious qualities onto people that we love. So in that world of illusion, we live with the idealized version of that person instead of seeing them for who they actually are. And I did that for a very long time. Because of titles. Oh, this is best friend. This is mom. This is dad. So I'm projecting those qualities onto this person. But that person never had those qualities. Never. So I was living in an illusion. But when I was able to sit back, when I got on my journey, observe, I'm like, oh, wow. Like I couldn't deny what I was seeing. Then I could match it with what I was feeling on the inside. And that made it clear for me. Because I couldn't argue with it. When I'm interacting with certain people and I'm feeling a certain way, feeling down, I'm feeling my energy being pulled. And I was like, why do I feel like? Then I understood once I got on my journey. That's why I always felt like that. Dang, I never knew that's what that was. I was seeing people I love from the version I was projecting on them. Seeing them from that mask that they were wearing for everyone else. But see, when you're caught up in that illusion, you'll ignore those signs. Those signs were there. I saw them. They were either ignored or I made excuses for them. Simply because I didn't want to see them in what they truly were. And that was the truth. So when you look at this image, as I said, it's not about superiority. It's not about somebody being above somebody else. It's about alignment. Love should not require you to descend from who you have become in order to meet someone where they refuse to grow. It took me a lot of time and effort, pain, tears to heal. So for me to allow anyone in my life that I know is not for my benefit would be insane. And I'm not insane. I would have thrown away all the work that I've done. So I'm telling you all of this so you can move accordingly. And stop trying to rush things. Stop putting a time limit on it. I'll get there when I get there. That's the time limit. If it's been a year, 2 years, then that means you got more work to do. You're going to know when stuff start moving, you're going to know. That means you clear what you needed to clear. I'm going to give it to you another way. This guy at 500, right? And he's working towards something, a new life, right? But that new life requires him to be 5'10". He needs to be at 5'10". It's only 10 points more, right? Now, this person walks into his life. Same scenario, 175. Doesn't matter. She can be 250, 300. It does not matter. But she's below that 500 threshold. If they're not aligned and he's trying to get to 510 for that new life, she will be an anchor. He's not going to reach that 510 attached to someone who does not want to grow. If this person does not want to grow and you're not aligned, it's going to be a problem. See, that's the crazy thing is love is like a cheat code. If you can find somebody that you're aligned with, let's say you both can be vibrating low. You both could be at 175, 200, whatever the case may be. But if you find like real love and you are aligned, it's a cheat code. to 500. If it's real love. Trying to use somebody, that's not real love. Those are ulterior motives. So don't be discouraged or brokenhearted because you've met 10, 15, 20, doesn't matter the number, scumbags in a row. What that should say is, dang, I've met 15, 20 scumbags. What is that saying about me? What do I have inside of me that's attracting these people? That's the whole purpose of it, for you to self-reflect, get that out of you that is attracting those energies. Ah, I see. Now you can attract the right person. See, one thing about me is I'm able to see people mistakes and learn from them. Like, I don't have to make the same mistakes. A lot of things I'm just not going to do, especially working in the hospital for 20 years. You see a lot of people's mistakes. What got them to where they were at? Okay, cool. I'm not going to do that. I've been doing that since I was a child. So I'm able to see things and know, okay, I'm not going to do that. And I did the same thing with love once I got on my journey. And I could see how self-sabotage worked. I could see women self-sabotaging right in front of me. And I'm trying to, like, hey, you're kind of self-sabotaging right now. But they haven't done the healing. And they still just self-sabotage. So I'm like, wow. So for me, when I saw that, I'm like, I'm going to make sure I heal. And when the right person does enter, I don't self-sabotage. I don't do what they are doing right now. It's about learning and growing and expanding. So it's not about being on a lower level. It's just about waiting, keeping yourself healed and moving forward until that person is on the same platform as you. You don't complete that person doesn't complete you. You're both complete individuals. And when you come into each other's lives, you bring more happiness, more peace. I'm happy now. I'm at peace now. But I know with someone, the right someone, let me say that, I could be even happier with the right someone. But there's also a balance. With the wrong someone, I can be miserable. So I'm not worried about that as I was before, because I know soon as I see the first thing wrong, I'm out. Because if you're moving a certain way that I'm never going to move, no, I'm not gonna stay there. For what? You crossing my boundaries? I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna fight. I'm just going to remove myself. Everything is energy. So you arguing and fighting with somebody who know that they're doing wrong, when the majority of people do not admit when they're doing wrong, why are you going to sit and argue with this person who's going to deny it, going to go back and forth, want to keep you confused, which also keeps you trapped in the same side? The list goes on and on. I'm gonna avoid all of that. You know exactly what you did. I know what you did. That's why I walked away. Save your energy. Make sure who you attach your energy with is aligned with you. That's all this is representing. Alignment. Not Who's better? Who's best? Who's aligned? And I'm going to leave it there. And as always, if you got anything out of this message, I ask you to like, subscribe, and I will check you in the next one.